Welcome back to another edition of Tea and Toys. Now I've got I think it's the Walgreens exclusive Autobot Minerva. She has been delivered. This came from In Demand Toys, who as ever have been able to get hold of some of the more exclusives now. Historically, the Walgreens stuff has become very hard to come by in the UK. Not even Hasbro Pulse have these things on there, which should be kind of the point of Hasbro Pulse. But that's another question and another video for another time. So what does Minerva come with? She comes with two different colour blasters. One has been painted, one has not. I can't recall if these are reminiscent to her appearance in either the Masterforce cartoon and or the Victory cartoon where she appears for 3 episodes. Minerva is based on the Elita 1 mould. Same accessories come with both, so that gun there, that gun there. Not much is different between these two figures at all. You've got the head and the inclusion of the light bar here, and then you've got the faux head here on Elita 1. But outside that, everything is basically identical between the two figures. You can see I've got both the configurations of the backpack. Got the tucked away version for Elita 1 here, and yes, this is more cartoon accurate to have these sections up high on Minerva, but I did have a little tinker with these the other day. I sort of did that as a good middle ground, because that just looks like she's not transformed properly. You can see these great big gaps here, you can see the different grey joint there. I've decided when she's on the shelf, this will be how I display her, with these sections up slightly like that with the wheels turned back. All the same articulation with Minerva. Wrist, arm swivel, arm up like that, can't go back any further than there, leg up, leg back, side to side, feet rockers as well. Still quite a good figure. I actually think that the mould works better with her. I don't know why, as the Elita is actually quite a good representation as well. Looking at Minerva, I just feel this belongs to her more than Elita. Don't know why, but it's just my observation on how I feel about the mould in particular. Yeah, great little figure. Not a headmaster like she is in the Masterforce series. I don't think we see the headmaster in the appearance in Victory. And I'm happy with that. I'm not the biggest fan of headmasters anyway as a toy gimmick. I've got the original headmasters and the Fangry from the Worlds Collide box set, or Wilder as he's known in that. And I think these two are the enemies of each other in that cartoon. I think that's how they pair off, because there's 3 of them and 3 of them. I was going to collect more Masterforce stuff. I'm looking at my shelf and thinking, I don't know if I want to go down this route. That means picking up the Skull Grin, and they've already done Bomb Burst in the wrong size scale anyway. I'm not going to pick up core size Bomb Burst. They've all got to be deluxe size in order for it to be a collection worth picking up. So that's her with her opposite. Not a headmaster, unlike Fangry Wilder is still a headmaster. Let's see what the size difference is there between that. Right. So that's what a headmaster would have been like with Minerva. But having said that, I'm happy that she isn't one. I don't mind Fangry Wilder being headmaster. That doesn't bother me whatsoever. It wouldn't bother me so much if she was. I just prefer her not to be, and she isn't, so thumbs up, great choice there. Now, in her appearance in the Victory show, where the Autobot leader Gundry or Jinrai is sort of defeated by Death Saras, I believe, and these 3 are sort of called on to repair Ginray, but these 3 best Autobot scientists, they can't quite fix him, so they completely rebuild him and turn him into a completely different character. Now you know how I feel about turning one character into another character. I just feel it's something that's a bit lost. I just think that they should have killed off Jinray in the episode, and maybe these guys could be in another appearance where they are building the lion guy, whose name I cannot remember right now. I've even pre-ordered the damn thing. But ultimately, the appearance was great to see these characters again, especially Perceptor and Wheeljack. Especially given Wheeljack died in the movie. Apparently, the Japanese did not know this happened, and I can't, hand over heart, truly believe that the creators of the Transformers cartoon would not have known about and or at least seen a version of the movie. Yes, it wasn't officially released, but even back then there were channels to watch these things. It just baffles me that is a true story. To put my hands there, put my hands up in the air and saying that I'm just baffled by that. But it was nice to see Wheelcheck again, and I will happily ignore the Japanese manga reason for why Wheeljack is brought back to life, or Wheeljack is back in the cartoon, or his body was transported in this timeline and went through this. Do you know what? I've looked into it, the Prowl and Wheeljack thing, and the explanation of why they return in the Japanese series, and wow, it's so disturbingly convoluted and annoying to read that I just don't care. I'm like, do what they did with Optimus Primal in Beast Wars. Somebody goes into the Matrix to retrieve them. Done. Body's rebuilt. Easy. None of this timey-wimey, spacey-wacy, absolute convoluted garbage of how and the why and the wherefore. It's great that they did a how and a why and a wherefore. Just the way it was done. Wasn't very good in my opinion. Glad to see Wheeljack was back to life, no weird cloning and nonsense. And we got to see Perceptor once more. Nice to see this little trio back, or at least to have this trio in hand, which is why I picked up Minerva. I wanted this trio. For those few episodes of the Victory cartoon. Transformer that I am still umming and ahhing about keeping. I always felt that Override, even back when Galaxy Force, even call it in Japanese now, the Cybertron series came out, I still felt that Override looked so much like Minerva. Yes, their whole characterizations, the characters are two totally different characters. Even in the Japanese cartoon, Override is Nitro Convoy and a male. But the red and the white and some black overtones, there's no gold on her. But even the head is, to me, still slightly similar. You've got the central piece, you've got the side bits. I don't know, I just feel like they're very similar in looks and colours, but they're two different characters. I just thought I needed to show that and sort of air like how I felt that these two are quite similar. Having said that, love the character, and I'm actually digging this bot mode. Let's get her in the squashed car mode. And here we have Minerva in the squashed car mode. Now, I actually think that this alt mode works better for Elite 1 than it does Minerva. It just seems very squished and compact, and she's not staying together very well at all. I have to fiddle with this quite a bit. You can see these bits. Those bits are meant to clip in there, but then that unclips there. Yeah, it's a bit of a keep going round and round and round, so you'll never win. Yeah, it's an okay alt mode. Even the same problem again. The wheels don't roll around on a flat surface. On this again, I don't think the Minerva boobs are getting in the way. But again, you can see that's already fallen out there. It's not the best car mode. The light bar is removable, but I don't see why. You don't need to take it off. One cool thing that I always like is that yes, you can store all the accessories in vehicle mode as well if you want to display it all battle moded up like that. I have spun the head round. You're probably not meant to, but I prefer not to see the head like that. It's not the best transformation. No, the same problem again. I had with the Elite 1. One little foot is floppier than the other. It's essentially you just transform up the legs and fold out the backpack, and then tempted to clip in these bits, and she's transformed. Very simple. It's not a horrible transformation. Now you'd get a car out of it, or a robot, but not a lot's hidden. And I don't know, I'm one of those guys. I kind of like stuff hidden away in Transformers. But for children, yeah, it's simple enough for them to transform and have fun with. There's no risk of breaking anything when transforming her back and forth. Again, always a plus for toys, right? That's what these things are aimed at. Although this being an exclusive, less kids will actually get hold of it. But that's by the by. Yeah, she's okay. Not the best, not the worst, but still one that's welcome in the collection. Don't forget to love, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys and girls in the next video.